This is Joe Pugh for IFLTV. We're at York Hall, from Belfast to Bethnal Green. Dave, what performance? Just spoke to Stephen. He's coming out of his shell a little bit, isn't he? Inside and outside the ring.
Yeah, we were just saying, when he first come, shy, 18-year-old kid, just trying to get a smile out of him, laughter out of him. He was very serious, very intense. Now he's just developing and maturing as a person as well as a fighter, as you saw in there. The first fight with Queensbury, you see a quick demolition job. This one, you see against the opponent. It's 3 weeks' notice. The opponent of 6 rounds is a guy that comes over here on these shows. You've seen him. A lot of people seen him against a lot of British prospects. Give him good fights. Give him hard fights. Usually throws a lot of punches. Didn't look like it in there because he was too, because of what Stephen was doing, didn't allow him to, and put him in a lot of pain as well. So he was looking at getting through it. I'm over the moon with the performance.
You've got to be pushing for that though, right? Obviously we all like to see those highlight reel knockouts. It builds your name, but at the end of the day you've got to kind of put in that little bit of groundwork and gain the experience for these outrounders. By the sounds of it, it's coming next.
100%, yeah. It's no good just going in. I'm back at knocking everybody out. He gets a couple of knockouts, then goes the distance. Get a couple of knockouts, goes the distance. I'm happy with that because, I said yesterday, ideal for me is it goes 6 rounds or 5.5 rounds. I want those rounds banked because with prospects now, you need them to be more seasoned, you need to be clever, you need them to be experienced when they get let off the leash. Because if he's just knocking out people quickly, he's not actually learning anything in fights. The emotions of a fight, the crowd roaring every time you hit somebody and knock off balance or whatever, frustrations that can happen in a fight. If you don't experience those on the way up in these fights, we class these as just learning fights. That's why I don't care whether it's a stoppage or it's points. And as long as the promoters and TV people and the fans are on board and they're enjoying what they're seeing, then when you're in with people that are taking more risks and trying to beat you, you've got more chance of landing your own power shots.
Don't need me to say about the calibre of fighters you've trained and worked with in the past, Dave. How does he compare as a young fighter?
He's completely different. Completely different. What he has got is he's genuinely got the heavy-handedness. I'm not going to say he's got one-punch knockout power and stuff like that. But he's got heavy hands, very heavy hands. So he's one of those where every shot that he hits you with, you feel, you respect. You don't want to get hit again. You think you don't want to get caught clean. But he's so dedicated. He's got the will to win and the desire that Bellew had. If you want me to put a name to it, that same sort of will to win, and that he's willing to do anything. He genuinely, he took himself away from his family. He's very, very close to his family and his friends. As you've seen, 6 of his friends have turned up here to 2 weeks' notice. But he's very, very close to him. But yet, at 18 years old, he made the decision of taking himself away from them and living constantly in the UK, in Rotherham. So that takes a level of maturity and dedication and will to improve and will to succeed. And he's done that, and it's nice, it's paying off, and he's getting the backing of Queensbury and TNT and people saying nice things about him. But he also understands this is only the beginning. There's a lot to go. There's a lot of shifts in people's perceptions of you, people, how they rate you, how they don't rate you. We understand that, and he understands that. He's got an old head on young shoulders.
Last one, how far away is he from titles?
The minor titles, you know it yourself. Anyone can fight for a title, these minor titles. But
that don't really matter to you, does it?
No, what comes with the titles is the rounds. Yeah. So the rounds that he's sparring and we want him to be doing 8 rounders 2 fights ago. So we're happy 8 rounders. Let him get a couple of 8 rounds on his belt, and we'll move it to 10 rounders. Still boxing at international level, international title level, that sort of thing. Not a problem. I'm not even going to speak about the British champions and people like that because he's a long way off that yet because he has got that much potential that I don't want to ruin it by saying, let's go and fight him now.
There's no need to rush with Stephen as well.
Not at all, because he's very, very young. But his IQ is developing so much. This last 18 months, his brain's just getting so much better. And it's, there's still more to learn. Obviously, there is for everybody. But the path that I see him going on, if I'm allowed to develop him, I'm allowed to take the time with him, then I think he's going to be an outstanding fighter.